Hey guys, it is Kyle back with another video. Today we're doing something a little different. We're not talking about fashion, so much so as we are talking about business. It was something I wanted to get into on this channel, so here it is. Today I'm going to go over my 5 tips on how I haggle and negotiate, whether it's a lease, whether it's buying merchandise, whether it's contracts, anything. Now, I will say a disclaimer, every situation is different, every person is different, and not every principle applies to every situation. But I'm going to give you 5 tips that I feel are the most popular, not even most popular, most commonly used tips, and 5 key things that you need to remember when you are coming across and you are negotiating and you are talking. Number 1 is to come across educated in your subject, but to never be the educator. There is a such thing as too much information. So I'm going to use, because this is the thing I have the most experience with, through the entire video I'm going to talk about negotiating when buying collectibles or electronics or something in the case of a pawn shop. You want to come across as educated. You don't want to play the dum-dum. You don't want to act like you don't know what you're talking about. You want to come across as educated on the subject, or at least educated enough to find out the information. So if you don't truly know, excuse yourself, say, excuse me, I'm going to go look this up. I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to call someone who has more experience with this than I do to get you the best price. But you never, at the same time, you never want to be the educator. So if someone brings you in a cool collectible, don't give them the history. This isn't Pawn Stars. It doesn't matter. You know what it is. Inform them that it is something you deal with, and then start your negotiation process from there. There is such thing as too much information, and just keep that in mind whenever you are discussing. And never, under any circumstances, give them the PBS special about their item. They don't care. They're going to get bored. They're going to get irritated, and they're more likely to walk away from a deal. Not to mention, no one likes a know-it-all. Number 2, and this is the most important thing, especially in the situation of a pawn shop or a collectible shop like we're talking about. Don't buy a story. At the end of the day, business is numbers, and a lot of people fail when they start applying emotion to their business decisions. It sounds heartless, and it is, but business is all numbers. Don't buy their story or you'll pay through the nose. Don't buy their habits, you'll pay through the nose. And remember, it's what they're selling, that item, what it's worth, end of story. You buy it based on that. Don't cry if they can't afford baby formula. Don't cry if they're withdrawing, and I don't mean to be so harsh, but this is the reality of the pawn shop business, and a lot of the time business in general. Their story doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're running a business. You are there to make a profit. If you can make the ideal profit that you need to make and it helps them, great. Everybody's happy, everybody wins. But never, under any circumstances, should you base your purchase or your purchase price on emotion. It's always the item, and it's always the same system that you have, no matter what the story is. Number 3 is a tricky one for a lot of people to get, but it's an important one. And that's to control the conversation, but not let them know you're controlling the conversation. You ever wonder why car salesmen spend so much time training? It's about leading the conversation, but at the same time not shoving something down your throat. So when I'm talking with you, I want to relate to you. I want to make you feel like we're having a regular conversation, but I'm controlling the conversation because I am asking the questions. How is your day? What can I do for you? What do you need to sell this for? And I know this contradicts a little with number 2. You're not buying the story. Remember that. But as a good salesman, as a good buyer, you are interested in their story because you want the customer to feel important. You want them to feel valued, that you want them to feel like their business matters, which it absolutely does. But you want to make them feel like they matter, which they do. But you want to have that special emotional connection with them without ruining your own ability to make business decisions. You want to control the conversation. You want to know where it's going, when it's going, and you want to make them feel comfortable. But again, don't control the conversation coming across as egotistical, because ego drives so many people. I see so many people in the collectible businesses where they fail. They act like the customer's doing a privilege. They act like they are doing a privilege by speaking to the customer. That is not the case. It's never the case. And honestly, who knows if you know more than the customer does? That's not what the conversation is about. The conversation is about them selling that item to you. And if you're coming across as educated, you're coming across with no emotion, but enough emotion to connect with them and speak with them, then you're the winner in the conversation. And you know what? They're going to walk out of there feeling great. And you are going to walk away knowing that you still got the best deal you could have done with your business. Number 4, and this is an important one. When they come in and say, well, what will you give me? Never, can't express this enough, never give the first price. Whenever you are negotiating, they are selling the item to you. It is their item. How much money do they need? That's the question. What do you want for it? Or if we're talking a contract, what are you asking? What is your asking price? What is your asking capital? What are you looking for? It's not, yes, you ultimately are the one making the final decision saying, yes, I'm buying this, or yes, I'm signing this lease. But what is it they are looking for? Don't let them tell you. Remember number 3, where you control the conversation? If you're telling them everything, guess what? They're controlling you. You're the one giving all the answers. You need to be the one asking the questions. So never give the first price. How much would you like for it? What do you need for this? And if they say, well, what do you give me? With all due respect, it's your item. I'd like to know what you want for it. Simple as that. Number 5. And this is a tough one for someone. Remember, no deal. I'm bad with English. I should really start writing scripts. No deal is perfect, and no deal is worth pissing someone off over. Know to walk away, and a key to this is if you have to offer less than half of what they're asking, just walk away. Because you're going to look like a jerk when you lowball the crap out of them. And you might be completely accurate with the price, but you're still going to look like a jerk. So let's say someone comes in and they're asking $150 for something. You look it up, it's $100 online. They want $150. You know you can't pay more than $50, $60. There's no sense in offering them $50 because they're going to think you're a jerk. And you're going to look like a jerk. And they're going to leave a bad review. And sometimes the ultimatum will still anger them if you just say, no thanks, I'm not interested. But if you say it respectfully, say, listen, I can't make a profit at that. I don't want to insult you with my offer. I'm going to have to pass on this item. Sometimes they might get irritated, but for the most part, they'll appreciate the honesty and respect. And so that's why I make it a point, and I think it's very important, never offer less than half of what they're asking for. If it's worth, if they want $200, if they're coming in, the item's worth $175, they ask for $200, there's nothing wrong with offering $100. A lot of the time, they're going to try to get you to go a little higher, and that's the point of the negotiation game. Just make sure you're controlling the conversation, because they threw the first price out there. And that's another thing, and 4 and 5 really do tie in quite importantly. If you throw the first price out, say they want $500 for something, and you tell them you're only going to give them $50 for it, you just look like the biggest jerk in the world. So again, it's all about controlling the conversation. It's about knowing how to read people. And it takes a lot of practice. There is no perfect system in negotiating or haggling, whatever you want to call it. But it takes practice. And I believe you guys can do it to the best of your ability. No one ever taught me a formal lesson, and I think I'm pretty darn good at it. So hopefully I can give you guys some guidance. If you like the business advice, comment down below what else you'd like to know about business. And also, if you're liking what I'm putting out, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be told when all the cool videos are coming out. And also, don't forget we are doing a $100 giveaway, and we're getting close. We've gained about 20-25 subscribers. Got 40 more to go. But let's get this video shared. Let's get the $100 giveaway video shared. And let's get someone, one of you lucky subscribers, $100. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I will see you next time. Take it easy.